Hey, this is Pierre Villaco talking. I wanted to talk today about office hours and how critical they are in a project. So, what are office hours? Office hours are sessions dedicated for the end users or champions to do two things. It depends when you're doing them. So, there's office hours you definitely need to do prior the change, prior the migration, prior the deployment, and there's office hours that you should do after. So the goal of the office hours is basically to answer any questions. That's the goal of office hours is to answer any question people can have on the change. So prior to the change, the the benefit of doing it is to decrease the stress. It's not just to decrease the stress. Maybe people have heard about the project and maybe they speculate on the project. Maybe they have ideas and myth, and so let them express all this. Let do several office hours so most of the people can join, or champions can join, so they can ask any question they might have heard from other peers, or maybe they have concerns. So you gather all the questions and you start to answer the question you can address. You cannot imagine how many questions you can fix right away because they're so basic, because people are misinterpreting what they heard or what they read about the project, about the change. So it's really key to have those sessions prior the change. It will help you in a lot of ways. So first, decrease the stress, identify the concerns, maybe document things you didn't identify in the project and you might want to communicate on because you know that a big stress there and it's a simple there's a simple answer. Maybe you need to create resources for that. Maybe you need to create videos, guides, whatever you need, an FAQ often, but mostly it's a psychological effect. It's, people feel heard, and it's better when people have stress if they can express the stress, so you can, address the stress. You can explain. It's an opportunity also to communicate with them, saying, hey, we have all the resources ready for you, and the resources that are missing, thanks to your feedback, we'll build them for this project. So it's also a transparent dialogue with your users, making them understand that you're not in a central IT place where you don't care about people, you care about them. That's why you're doing the office hours, to adjust what you're doing. So prior is until they use the technology. So when they use the technology, they're going to have more questions. Probably different. Not going to be stress. More. It's going to be more. How can I do this? Or maybe to elaborate on one element of the change. So that will help you also to do the same thing, to first educate the people, maybe build some resources to help the users because you didn't identify in the first place that they had a need, and you need to explain how to use the new technology to address this need. So that will help to do a better job in terms of transformation and adoption, because then you will better understand, where people are struggling and how you can help them. So I think it's really key to have office hours. I really recommend, if you just have to have one action more than training, is office hours, so people can ask questions prior to the change, so they can relieve their stress, and after the change, so they can learn more, and you can adjust your strategy to, tailor what they need, tailor your content or your resources, your training to what they need, and that will help everybody. So I think it's a vital thing to do in a change management program, and I encourage you to do everything about office hours. It's hard to address every needs, so along with that, it's good to have some sort of forum where people can still ask their questions even if they're not in a meeting, and you can log those questions and answer those questions, monitor these questions, and after a period of time, you will see that some question will be addressed directly by other customers, other users, because they know the answer. So that will create a positive dynamic between people because they're going to start to help each other. So I encourage everybody to do so. Office hours, office hours, office hours. I hope this was helpful.